Well, this year's Youth Day commemorations will take place at the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane under the theme, Actively Embracing the Socioeconomic Gains of Our Democracy. Let's now cross to our reporter, Katlego Nyoni, for more. A very good morning to you, Katlego. Thank you so much for joining us. You are at the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium, right? So just take us through what will be happening.
Good morning there to our viewers as well. Yes, certainly, as you put it, actively embracing the socio-economic gains of our democracy. Now, this is the theme for the 2024 Youth Day celebrations and activities that are certainly taking place at the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium, which is adjacent to the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. Now, in the lead up towards June 16, the Polokwane municipality published a list of streets that will be closed as a result of today's celebrations. They include streets like Sage Street, Marshall Street, Mahasein Street, as well as Fort Trekker Street. Now, these are streets situated around the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium. Now, the Deputy President of the country, Paul Mashatile, will deliver a keynote address. But before that, there'll also be opening remarks by the newly elected Premier of the Limpopo province, that is Poppy Ramathuba. Well, we know that the youth of today face new struggles in contrast to the youth of 1976. In particular, is access to the labor market. The youth remains vulnerable. Young people aged between the ages of 15 to 34 years make up a third of the population, yet they remain vulnerable to labor markets. They're also confronted by a myriad of challenges, including access to education. For some, we have issues such as NSFAS, issues such as crime and teenage pregnancy continue to affect young people in the country. Compared to the youth of 1976, the challenges today are relatively different for the youth of today. Now, youth unemployment is a particular issue that affects young people in the country. We've seen from the recent quarterly labor force survey that about 4.5 million young people remain unemployed, and in provinces like the Western Cape, for example, you have 2.8% of young people that are discouraged job seekers. When you zoom into provinces like Limpopo, you see that there is 12% of that figure. But I'm going to bring in an economic analyst to just speak to us about this day. Thank you very much, Stephen Mansell, for joining us on SABC News. Looking at what the youth of today are currently facing versus the youth of 1976, do young people really have a reason to celebrate, judging by some of the economic indicators and the challenges that young people face?
We still have a big of a challenge in the economy, where now the major thing is the economy rather than just fighting for a language or injustice in terms of the color wise, black and white. So now we're facing bigger challenges of the economy. It is nice to celebrate this freedom, because this freedom didn't come freely. It was earned by blood and tears, and a lot of people lost their lives. So that being a case, it is to be celebrated. But celebrating this day, then we must look into issues of how do we assist the young people to become better in their life. I mean, we have around 38.1% of people who are between the ages of 15 and 35, and you'll realize that we have 17% of those who are younger than them who will come sooner into this bigger number we are talking about. We're talking about an unemployment of at least 4 million young people who are job seekers, but those who are discouraged as well with number of reasons, it becomes a little bit of a challenge for them. So yeah, we need to celebrate this day, but we need to look into how do we celebrate it versus the economy itself.
What will you be looking forward to hearing the Deputy President speak about in his keynote address today?
Of course, the government has provided a number of other initiatives which are important to youth development, such as your NYDA, such as your TES, such as your YES. Those three things are very much important, but they need to be given a boost, because we have more young unemployed people in South Africa. Of the young unemployed, 9.7% of those, which is 1 in 4, are people who are graduate. Of course, the government has provided free education. The government is trying very hard to boost the education, boost universities and other tertiary institutions. But we are looking into the government's boost towards those initiatives which they have done. But contrary to that, we are looking into partnering with the private sector, because private sector plays an important role in providing jobs and opportunity for young people. It's not only the government which must be providing this initiative on behalf of the people of South Africa.
Thank you very much. That's an economic analyst there, Stephen Manso, providing us with a perspective ahead of today's keynote address by Deputy President Paul Mashatile at the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium on Youth Day. Back to you in studio.